First of all, I want to state that Mayor White is not able to be at this meeting. She has a prior engagement that she needs to be at. But at this particular time, I'll ask Kathy to call the roll call.
Councilman Campbell.
Here.
Councilwoman Broussard. Here. Councilman Broussard.
Here.
Councilman Touchette is here. Councilman Horn.
Here.
Councilman Touchette, you have a quorum.
All right, if you don't mind, we'll stand and for the prayer of the pledge. We'll ask Councilwoman Broussard to lead us in a prayer and Councilman Broussard to lead us in the pledge after.
Sure, follow us in our Father. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Please face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll start off with public comment. Does anybody have any public comment on any agenda item? Please understand that you'll have opportunities after each item to be able to comment. So do we have any public comment? I hear none. We'll go right into personnel. Number one, approve the recommendation to appoint a police department personnel. Chief?
I have 3 people up for applications today. First one is Mr. Randall Toops. Mr. Randall Toops is a post-certified officer, and he would like to come and work at Abbeville. I've done references, have some real good references on him, and I'm recommending him for hire. Mr. Toops.
Second. We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion?
Chief,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Toops,
Yes, sir.
where did he work before? Was he in law enforcement before he came?
Yes, he is in law enforcement right now. St. Martin.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
And what brings you to Abbeville?
He wants to work for me.
That too. Actually, I used to work here a while back. I worked here about 4 years, and I live in Erath,
Oh,
and it's closer to home,
okay.
and I'm more familiar with this area than anywhere else.
Okay.
And he's familiar with me.
Very much.
You ever worked in West Texas?
No, sir. No, sir.
He just looks like it.
No.
Thank you.
All right, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Toops.
Appreciate it.
Okay, next one I have is Miss Gabby Duyon. Miss Gabby? Miss Gabby put in an application. She, her references say she's very smart. She is from this area, and they said there's not very many problems she can handle. So, she wants to be a cop. She does not want to be a dispatcher.
Chief, is she post-certified or she?
Nope, she's not post-certified.
All right, do I hear a motion?
I move.
I have a motion by Councilman
Second.
Broussard, second by Councilman Campbell. Discussion.
You got brothers?
I do,
Y'all fight?
all the time. About 9 of them, sir.
Well,
It never
just want to make
stops.
sure you don't mind fighting.
All right, any other discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Congratulations. My third recommendation is Mr. Devin Buchanan.
No.
Devin is a local guy. He's from Abbeville. He is Mr. Wade Buchanan's son. Real good references on him. All of his references would hire him right now, but they don't need somebody like him. They need other people. He is highly recommended by everyone. Once you ask him a question, you'll see how confident he is.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
That's what I want to hear.
And he ain't faking it. That's his voice. He speaks with confidence.
Do we have a motion?
Yes, sir.
I move.
Second.
We got a motion by Councilman Campbell. We have a second by Councilwoman Broussard. All right, any discussion?
Mr. Buchanan, your references said that you were good in music.
Oh, yes, sir.
I just want to hear your voice. All right, that's all I have.
Any other discussion?
No, I just want to say welcome and good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
All right,
I got a question for the chief.
Yes, sir.
What is your optimum amount of police officers that you'd like to have?
Supposed to be trying to get to 32, I still haven't reached it yet.
How many, you haven't reached 30?
We're trying to get to 32. This will make me 31 or 30. Right now, Officer Gonzalez is a school resource officer, so she doesn't count against me. School board pays for her.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Welcome on board.
Thank you.
All right, number 2,
Hey,
discussion,
guys.
If y'all want to stay, you can, but if you have places to go, you can go.
discussion and possible action to ratify disparate proceedings concerning TCO Shawna Miguez.
I'll move to ratify.
We got a motion to ratify, we got a second by Councilman Hardy. Any discussion?
Yes.
All right, we have
I
discussion.
just want on record that, I'm,
Thank you.
not in agreeable with the, disciplinary, actions because my reason being is that I truly believe that if the shoe was on the other foot, things would be different. That's my input.
All right, and then as I've talked to the attorney about it, again, we are just ratifying the mayor's recommendation, so.
Yeah, I just wanted it on record.
Good,
sir.
all right. Any other discussion?
Yes, I have a question. I just want to make it known to the chief. I talked to our attorney, and our attorney says what they did is just clean up what we did. We haven't added any more to what you did.
I just want to make sure that's what it was. That it was just an agreement and we agreed on what the discipline was.
Yes.
That's fine.
And
I'm right,
my
Bob?
understanding is that this is basically a misunderstanding like the incident at the park. As, you know, there's no criminal activity involved.
No.
Yeah, no, so let's just stick to, again,
This
this
is to
is just
ratify.
ratify the mayor's recommendation. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We have one nay with Councilwoman Broussard. All right, motion passes. All right, moving on. Number 3, to approve 2% annual pay increase for the unclassified position of digital media assistant.
I move.
We have a motion by Councilman Hardy,
Second.
Councilwoman Broussard, second. Woman Broussard, second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 4, discussion and possible action, consider changing the Municipal Civil Service Director of Personnel position from part-time to full-time.
I move.
We have a motion by Councilwoman Broussard. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second by Councilman Hardy. Discussion. But they're basically, what it is that it was a part-time employment. I assume that Mayor White is trying to move this to a full-time.
The part-time director did an excellent job with her part-time work. What will happen differently with the full-time director?
Well, again, I don't think that we are discussing that. The only thing that we're discussing is, are you guys are in favor of moving it from a part-time to a full-time? We cannot talk about that personnel. That is something that Mayor White handles on a day-to-day, so.
What I
again,
can tell him is, one of the reasons she's moving it from part-time to full-time is that the person that was doing it part-time was coming in more than she was contracted for. It was requiring more than part-time. It's really become more of a full-time position.
But my point was that, again, she's just asking for this movement. As far as that explanation there, Mayor White may say, hey, I need somebody else to fill this full-time. So, I mean, that'll be a decision she will make, right? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Moving on. Number 5, to consider allowing the current part-time municipal service director to remain on for 1 month to train the new director.
I move.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Campbell, second by Councilwoman Broussard. Open up in discussion.
I'll take it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All All right, moving on to approval of minutes. To approve the minutes for May 7th, 2024, May 21st, 2024, regular city council meetings, and May 21, 2024, committee meetings. We have a motion by Councilman Harding, Councilman Broussard, second. Any discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. New business. Number one, Mr. Steve Mosen to present the audit report and agreed upon procedures report for the fiscal year ended December 31st, 2023. Steve?
Good evening. At your desk, I provided you a copy of the audit report for the calendar year ending December 2023. The first part of the report shows our opinion letter. This is your financial statements, your personnel maintained it for the year. We come in as auditors and contracted to make it comply with state law. What I'd like to do tonight is go through your a graph presentation, which includes with the packet on the top. It gives us so this would be it was a handout with the report. So what I can do is turn past the table of contents and the first graph shows a 5-year trend of your revenues and expenditures for the city. And it goes from left to right. But in 2023, this is your governmental funds, that's your general fund, your sales tax fund, your special revenue fund. You took in revenues of $9.5 million, the green bar. Your expenditures in your government agency for police, fire, your municipal offices, street, recreation, total of $13.7 million. So that, as you can see, for the current year, we were short $4.2 million, providing more services than the general fund revenue, government revenue. However, we have the enterprise fund, your municipal, your gas, your electric and water systems that allow you to recoup, earn rent money to pay for the services of the city. That is the 5-year trend. You look back, the current year we had expenditures of $13.7 million. 2 prior years were COVID years. We had a lot of grant money coming in, and therefore your expenditures $17.5 million in 2021, and then last year in 22 we had almost $15 million, 14.9. But comparing this year prior to COVID to your 2019 year was a 5-year COVID struck in 2020. And you can see your revenues are up about $500,000 from 5 years ago, where your expenses are up about $2.5 million. But your revenues are up about $2.5 million. Your expenses are up $500,000. So you're actually reduce your overall out-of-pocket expenses that you rely on the utility system for in the last 5 years. So the city's in good shape as far as having its revenues coming from local government revenue, sales tax, and state money as well to cover its costs. The next graph just gives you an analysis. What are the major revenue sources? And it's a pie chart. And your sales tax revenue is about 64% of revenues coming into the city, not counting the utility system. Then you have your intergovernmental revenues, that's state revenues, federal revenues, about 15%. And then Abbeville and property taxes represent about 5% of your revenues. License and permits, you get 7% of your revenues from there, and then other miscellaneous revenues are 9%. So that gives you an idea. You're heavily relying on sales tax and state and federal dollars coming into the city. As far as expenditures, major areas that we spend for the government, your police and fire make up about 56% of the total expenditures for the city. When you add it to your general government operations, that's about 16%. And your highway streets, you're spending about 11% of your expenditures. Recreation is 4%. And capital outlay is about 7%. That's one-time capital expenditures, improvements. And then debt service, you're spending about 5% of your expenditures on debt service, which is very good. You have very little debt for the city in the past year. So then when I want to look at how do we make up the shortfall of revenues in the general fund, the sales tax and your general government revenue? And that's your electric revenue, your enterprise fund. The revenues, the gross revenues from the electric system was $7.5 million. And it's been very consistent the last 5 years. Whereas the cost of providing that electricity is running about $6.5 million. So you have right at about $6 to $6.2 million surplus of gross revenue. Now, we have expenses to run the utility system, but this just shows you where we're getting that revenue source from for the city. And it's been very consistent over the last 5 years. And we'll see how that goes going forward, and you have to renew your electrical contract this past year, and we'll see how that affects the rates and profit.
Yes, Steve, we should hopefully keep the same percentage.
Yes, that's correct.
So we'll see if that turns out that way.
That's right, we'll be
but,
monitoring that.
It's a slight modification of what we had previously.
Correct, that's correct. Then we look at your operating income from the enterprise fund. This is after taking out the operating expenses to run the facility. This is your electric system and so forth. And you're averaging about $3.5 million in profit from the operations. In 2019, it was 6.8 million, but there was a change in your OPEB, your pension plan and your employee benefits, and there's a reversal of some expenses that we recognized that year. And that was about 2.5 million. So that is it shows up as a profit in the operating fund, but it's more of a paper adjustment for that year. But overall, you're taking in about $3 to $4 million of income after expenses in your enterprise, your water, electric, and so forth, to supplement the activities of the city, provide the public safety and recreation and highway services, streets. So then I like to look at your salaries and wages. That's a major point. You're providing a service, and over the last 5 years, over the last 4 years, your salaries and wages are very consistent, about $6.5 million. In 2019, it was 5.8 million. So overall, very consistent, good controls in place. I know you're trying to beef up some of the police department's been short, but overall, our costs for salaries and wages have been very steady over the last 4 years. And then we'll look at retirement benefits for your employees. You participate in the state retirement system, and it's been consistent the last 4 years at $1.5 million. 2019 was a little bit lower, and that was because the salaries are lower that year. The contribution rates have been fairly steady, but they're still high. Anywhere from 25 to 35% of one salary has to be contributed to the retirement system, depending on whether it's the police, fire, or municipal employees. And another benefit for the employees is the health insurance. We show what it costs. The city is self-insured up to a certain amount, then you get, the city receives reinsurance coverage to safeguard from any catastrophe or large claims. But overall, you can see fairly consistent for 5 years, about $2.5 million the city spending on health insurance for its employees. 2021 was a little blur, just a peak. Thankfully, it was just 1 year, and overall, it's pretty consistent. So we'd like to monitor that as well. So even with claims of insurance premiums going up because you're self-insured, though, you're keeping kind of a lid on that as well. Cost savings.
Well, we have the reinsurance.
That's right.
But that means the city is exposed to that point.
That's right.
So
in a way, you're taking some risk, but it's been, again, we're showing that you've been consistent, and that reinsurance prevents you from having
healthy years versus unhealthy years.
That's correct, yes.
Raise your target.
And then the final graph I have for you is the bonded indebtedness for the city. It just shows we've, in 2019, 2020, we're paying down debt. 2021 was the last year you had a new issuance of debt issuance, and that's why we increased. For the last 3 years, we've been paying down our debt. Today, we have about $3.5 million outstanding as of December 31st. In March, you had another principal payment, and in May, you had a principal payment on the others. So two of these are due to be fully mature in 2026, so 2 years from now. And then you have the one that was issued in 2021 is a 10-year bond, so it's due in 2031.
So does anybody have any questions for Steve in reference to the report? This is, again, just to accept his report. We will go into item number 2, which is to approve the audit report and agreed upon procedures report for the fiscal year ended December 31st, 2023. If I can have a motion. We have a motion by Councilwoman Hardy. Opening up for discussion. Any discussions for Mr. Moses?
Mr. Moses, is MERS in good shape?
Yes, actually, it's in fairly good shape these days. It all plays off the stock market and how the markets are doing, it's like investments and interest rates. And it has improved this position, but it's still in the deficit, but we have seen improvement.
Let me say this also, and I think this is for people that are not familiar with how we function compared to other municipalities. And it's about the people that are on this wall in this room, is that the reason why we don't struggle like surrounding communities do around us is because we own our own systems. The only way that the city of Abbeville can survive is knowing that it has its own electrical system. We have our own people to go and run lines. We're not waiting on Slimco for 2 hours. We're not waiting on Entergy for 3 hours. We have our own water system. We have our own sewer system. These are things that I can tell you ERAB does not have. This is Kaplan does not have. You have Youngsville that does not have. And I'll just say this, that Councilman, you've been on this council. You know some of the people that have been on there. And they stood up and said, when people came and tried to take over our system, no, we're not gonna let this happen. And today, we're sitting where we are, to where the city of Abbeville at least has this opportunity, number one, to provide quality service from people that are here within our city. And number two, this is a source of revenue. This is a source of revenue to where we can actually put back into the community. So I'm thankful to those past councilmen and mayors that they have put forth that effort, because with all we're dealing with right now, we would not have this way of just being able to deal with certain things as far as our budget without having that. So very thankful. Any other discussion? All right. Any other discussion from the public? All right.
When will the audit report be released to the public?
It's submitted to the legislative auditors, and within 60 days, it's available online, but the city has copies available. So it's once they approve, it's been accepted it's been submitted to the legislative auditors, and this is just a formal process for recognition that we're letting them know that they communicated to them that the process was complete.
All right. Any other discussion? All right. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Number 3, to authorize the mayor to execute the assignment of lease for B&B daiquiris to Poor Decisions. I need a motion? Move. We have a motion? Second. We have a second by Councilman Campbell. Discussion. Any discussion from the public?
New business coming to town.
New business. Any councilman discussion? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
I just
passes.
called him out in the hall, they're here. Mr. Bingston. And poor decisions.
Thanks.
So excited.
You want to report on that?
Oh, no, man.
You'll see me there.
All right, moving on. Number 4, to award the contract of Graceland Avenue Sidewalk and Overlay Project.
I move.
We have a motion, we have a second, and the discussion. Any discussion from Todd?
Yeah, just a brief overview. You should have a copy of the tabulation in front of you. Bids were received last week. We received 2 bids. Renleger Construction was the low bidder, and they submitted a bid for the base plus alternate number 1 in the amount of $479,991.
And councilman and councilwoman, there is a local match only of $169,616, right? Kathy? Is that correct?
I have it a little bit higher than that.
Okay. So of that 479,991, most of it is paid by grant. I was just wanting to make for the record, what is actually is our portion of that?
The grant is $315,000, so you've got engineering to cover on top of construction.
Okay.
So I think the total would be a
Okay,
little
so
over 200.
what Kathy just made me aware of is that this is, the number that I gave was not including engineering.
Okay.
Okay, All right, so that just kind of shows the public that, you know, again, we're not, we have grants that take care of this. We have to put some portions in, but again, part of the infrastructure.
And Todd, it's great when we see a local contractor come in as a low bidder.
He was a little bidder and it was actually about $20,000 below the budget, so I think
That's
he's got a
great
very good
news for the
bid
city,
here.
for the taxpayers.
And for Glen Leisure.
Mr. Gertrude?
What is the motion state right now?
Motion is to accept lowest bidder of Glen Leger,
Base bid plus alternate.
plus the alternate.
I moved again.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Campbell, Councilwoman second. Any other discussion? Yes, ma'am.
Question.
Yes, stand up and state your name for the
Yes.
record.
Raven St. Julian, where's the, area on Graceland that we're talking about?
It's from North State Street to Lyman, half a mile.
It's fine.
It'll be an overlay of the street and a 6-foot sidewalk will be constructed on the side.
All right, any other discussion?
Enhancement to that part of the city.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nays? Motion passes. Moving on. Number 5, to authorize the purchase of new lawnmowers for the airport. 1 mower, Parks Department, 1 mower, Street and Bridge, 3 mowers. We have a motion? No, I don't think so. We have a total of 5. Yeah. Right, I need a motion. I have a motion by Councilman Harding, Councilwoman Terry, second. All right, any discussion? Any discussions from the public? Discussion from our council members?
Where will these mowers be purchased from, locally or?
Sure, it's being purchased through state contract, which is straight through Hustler, with the 27% discount. I have to send in the paperwork to get the exact quote, which you have in front of you, if you have the figures, it's pretty accurate.
So
The local dealer for service would be Abbeville Auto Parts, or Abbeville Snap, or whatever they call themselves.
So here's the question though, if Abbeville Snapper is on state contract and they handle Hustler, we can purchase through them.
We could purchase through the way the program works, you purchase through Hustler themselves, and they ship the lawnmowers directly in conjunction with Abbeville Snap.
I just want to try to keep things as local as possible.
It is.
Right.
That was my question.
So you get three for Street and Bridge, 1 for the park, and 1 for the airport. And then we move the other ones around to get rid of the bad ones. Okay?
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Number 6, discussion possible action if needed pertaining to the updating of rules and security for recreational events at AA Como Park. Let's first of all, Chris, is that you?
Yes, sir.
Talk to us.
Okay. We had a little meeting with the chief this morning, myself and the mayor. Our recommendations are for the rest of the summer, for the police to provide an officer on-site patrolling the premises and the park area at all times while a large sporting event is taking place. Okay. Also, the recommendation is to ban the 3 parties involved in the incident pending the outcome of the criminal charges. QSA has already ruled on their part of it. They provide recreation to the city, so the kids that play is on QSA, and they've already made their ruling.
And what's their ruling, Chris?
I have no idea what the ruling is on that. I have no idea. That's QSA. I think they released a statement 2 weeks ago or a week ago
Yeah,
about
all
that.
of the parties involved would not be allowed to participate. It was on the news.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I don't watch the news.
So that includes the kids?
I have to.
I understand it includes the kids. Maybe one of the representatives from QSA can speak on it.
I have a concern about the kids. I understand that when we attend public places, that we're supposed to behave like adults. I'm 100% with punishing those parents. I'm against punishing those kids. That's like signing those kids up for juvenile delinquency for something that they did not do.
Chief, you have anything to say about that since you did an investigation?
The only thing I have to say is that we have agreed to provide the security, that Byron will let us know any events that they have where we need the security there. As for this right here, I think it's gonna be hard for the parent to get the kid to the park if the parent's not allowed to go. So if the parent can't go, that may be the fairest thing.
But let me just say this, and I think what Chris is trying to say is that y'all met with the mayor?
Yes, sir.
Y'all met with the chief?
Yes, sir.
I assume that all of this is something of which she is recommending to the council?
Yes, sir.
From what I'm understanding, and not to be disrespectful, is that we have a party that is handling our recreational department. I don't know if we can micromanage what they are doing. All we do is hire them.
I'm
Yes, sir.
speaking out for the kids.
I know that, I understand that.
If we're
What I'm
going
saying
to-
is, I don't wanna, I think that if that is something of concern, and we need to address that, but they made a decision, I don't think it's our decision. It's our facility, they are using our facility, but they are actually running our recreational department.
Right, correct. So I think, and like I said, the recommendation is to ban the individuals pending the outcome of criminal charges. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty, right?
Absolutely.
So I think that's the right statement to make and the right recommendation.
Right, so what motion does anybody have a motion on this?
Bart, do we need a?
I don't think you need a
It
motion.
says on possible action.
I don't think you need a motion. We don't need a motion if the city asks the police department for, security and they provide it, I don't think you need a motion.
And the rest of it about banning the parents from no, but it's from city property and our parks.
Yeah, that'll be addressed once once the criminal charges are resolved. In the meantime, we're gonna give them a notice of,
Well, the question
that they can't be on
the
the-
council is, if there's no criminal prosecution that takes place and we barred these parents from the park, then where do we go from here?
there's no civil liability from it. I mean, we doing it as a precautionary measure based on the facts that have been presented to us.
Yeah.
And there's probably facts that not everybody's pertinent to, so.
Well, I was just wondering if
I mean,
there's
I
no
don't
criminal
think-
charges and no prosecution, how do we ban the parents?
Well, there's criminal charges.
Right.
They're
Yeah,
pending.
they got innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you can be arrested if you're innocent, right, until proven guilty, correct?
Yeah.
So-
No, it's just a precautionary step by the city.
Yeah, I understand for the time being.
For the time being.
Okay.
So, like I said, we met with the chief. QSA is to call the APD when somebody gets out of hand, and we actually have a zero tolerance policy, which we always did, but it's going to really be enforced now. And officers must remove the subjects from the premises to de-escalate the situation.
I respect and understand all of that, but I still stand on those kids did nothing wrong.
And believe me, I do understand that.
Those kids are
And Councilwoman, I agree with you. I'm just saying is that I think we're muddying waters here, and I think that if we have an issue that we need to be talking to QSA about. Because they evidently have a reason for banning those kids.
Correct.
And I don't know what it is, but they had a reason. I would like to know what it is, but they had a reason.
Can anybody speak to it with QSA?
Well, we won't have a child here,
I'll just say a little bit more, So those parents go to another park for All-Stars, okay? Go to another park and cause the same trouble, okay? They were already banned from Abbeville, okay? Because the parents got to take the kid to the park.
But here's the thing. From Councilwoman's standpoint, somebody else could take those kids to that field, and those kids could participate. And yeah, the parents are banned, but the kids are not. Again, I understand what you're saying, but I go back to is that that's QSA and they're running that, and we gotta respect what they're doing.
Right. Are you with it?
Our department representative, what?
Okay, as of now, being still a pending investigation or whatnot, to keep everybody peaceful or whatnot. Just like the city's doing, we want to identify everybody. We want to make sure everything's in place. To experience what I experienced, I do not want to be in the middle of that ever again.
I was there as well. My kids were playing on the other field.
And so until everything's all said and done, investigations done, anything required on QSA's part, if you would like to speak to our attorney, he will take care of that. I can get your name, number, refer you to the attorney.
Let's do this, guys. If there's an individual council members that have a problem, I think you need to address that with the mayor. The mayor is making this recommendation, and she's evidently supporting what QSA has decided as far as, okay. All right, so we're not gonna take any action.
So we don't need a motion to accept the recommendation from the mayor, right? Okay.
Do we don't?
It says
I mean,
discussion
it's just something we doing in daily operation of the city business. I mean,
Okay.
it's our department, it's
because
our.
she is running the day-to-day.
Yeah.
I mean, she wants to ban somebody from the park, she can ban from the park.
I think it was more of making the council aware of what we're doing at the
We were
park,
aware.
and, you know, any discussion y'all wanted to have. But
All right, moving on. Number 7, discussion and possible action pertaining to the operation of Feet Park.
All right, so, there was a discussion at some meetings ago before we reopened, if we were to put lights or not put lights around the walking trail. Okay, so, Stuart's gonna discuss the lighting plan that he came up with. The lights, if you decide to move forward with the lights will allow us, if you wish, to keep the walking trail open 24 hours with lights. Okay, that way people can walk it at, this is just 2 scenarios, okay? People can walk at 5:30 in the morning if they want, there's lights. People can walk at 9 o'clock at night. It would only keep the walking gate open if you wanted to go 24 hours on the walking trail. Fishing would be closed. The park would be from, I think it's 7 to 7 for fishing, okay? During the summertime. Stuart, you want to address the lights right now?
Mayor Pro Tem, can I make a motion to table this until we get?
So let's go ahead. I got a motion to table.
Second.
Got a second.
Yeah, we need.
Now we in discussion. Go ahead and continue.
Okay, the lighting is, you need 30 lights around the walking trail,
There we have it.
and it's, altogether it's $35,320. That's with the material, the light, poles, everything.
I'm always gonna yield to councilman at large and also a council member that is representing that particular park. So, y'all both have made a motion, and one has made a second to table. So any other discussion?
Well, we were gonna get into,
But we just need a little more information.
well, I was getting there, I don't know why, I mean, we can get into opening the park, but if you wanna table it, we can bring it back at the next meeting. I mean, we did some things today to take care of all that stuff, but if y'all wanna table it, we'll go ahead and table it, that's up to y'all.
Yeah, will, all this be completed, the lighting and all that before our next meeting?
No, sir.
Well, next meeting, we'll have more information. That's my,
All right, Chris, let's just go, all right, here we go. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor?
aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Moving on. To approve a special permit for Drayon Levine to hold a Juneteenth Father's Day celebration on June 15, 2024, from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at AA Como. Do we have Mr. Drayon in? There he is. Come on forward, my friend. I think I know you.
I'm pretty sure everybody's sitting on me.
I knew it when he was smaller.
You know me as Buckethead.
Tell us a little bit about it, my friend.
Well, actually, I was kind of just thrown into it. I don't like talking
Do you have
about
insurance?
Yes, we have insurance.
Did you get with the chief as far as, having security? Because we're gonna need to have security, right, chief?
Yes. We didn't get on that yet.
Okay.
But whenever somebody just called me yesterday, Miss Rainey,
Ms. Rainey?
Rainy day.
secretary for the mayor. Yeah, she had called me and told me that other stuff was being handled in the process also. But the only reason why I'm doing this event is to pretty much show people that Abbeville is much more than violence, and that we can come together and try to show people a little bit more of the culture of Juneteenth. Also, with it being Father's Day, the next day I said we might as well do something for Father's Day also.
So you're having 2 days?
No, it's just one day. It's just Juneteenth / Father's Day celebration.
Okay.
Chris, go through. Chris?
Great idea.
Hold on a second, bud.
Okay, so I think you spelled out a special permit, special event permit, right? Okay, there's also a pavilion agreement form that you have to fill out. You won't have to pay those fees because you're paying the special event permit, and what it does, it has the rules of what you're responsible for. And then we need to know your times, what time you have it till, 3 to 7, so 7 is our close time. The splash pad will be open. There will be other people probably using the splash pad. So it'll tell you that when you come to the office. We'll get you the paper that you need to fill out, and then you'll be good to go. And the mayor did mention about security, so y'all need to get together on that part of it, okay?
So they won't have to pay the usage fee for the pavilion, right?
Correct, sir, correct. They just have to pay the special event permit.
Okay. Any other discussion, ma'am? You had something to say?
No, I just know that he doesn't like to speak out in public.
Yeah, but sometimes you gotta put yourself out there. You
Stand up
gotta-
and stand up and win. But I'm helping organize with him, and
There you
it's an exciting event. I remember growing up in Abbeville, I just moved back. We did have Juneteenth celebration as a little girl at Como Park. And from what I understand, it hasn't happened in a long time. So I'm quite excited for that. As long as you have our back and the city has it, we're gonna make it a great day for you and the kids and the fathers. And I just wanna let you all know that I'm excited about it, and the community is as well.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
All right, so you'll make sure you get with chief and we'll get all the security and everything, and Randy, they'll take care of everything that you need for that.
So you wanna make a motion for it?
All right, we need a motion to accept. We have a motion, we have a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
All the talking we did, and you don't know what to say.
Nothing in old business, moving on to departmental reports or updates. Engineers, anybody? Any engineers? All right, moving on. Attorney?
Nothing.
Public Works Director? Anything Public Works Director?
Sir?
Anything?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so go Troy. What's going on in the city?
Well, there's a lot going on. Okay, so I'm just touch on the street improvements that we made. You know, we've cambered the underground as far as for stormwater and sewer. We call it Mr. Jean's section, and the other section is Andy's section. So Mr. Jean stops right about the mayor's office, and he goes all the way to the church. So on that section, we had, on the paper it has 5 repairs. We actually have a 6th repair, which was a water leak right here. We did the repair, but the construction company saw the concrete, broke it out. So this numbers is not quite accurate, but it's pretty close. We spent about $40,600 on 5 repairs under the ground. And during this big rainstorm that we had, we've passed, and where we made repairs at, it's really helped. The Piazza corner is one of them where you couldn't get water to drain. There was a collapsed drain pipe, and they had I think it was a 12-inch pipe draining into a 10-inch pipe. That don't work. That's a funnel, right? So we fixed that, upsized the pipe, and everything's good there. On Andy's section, which we're in the process of doing now, we estimate the repairs we need to do at about $50,000. We're in the process of doing Vermilion and North St. Charles. It's a pretty major repair going on right there right now. So wherever we identified we had problems, we're gonna dig it and we're gonna find out if we need to do something. You never know till you get in the ground what's taking place, whether it's gonna be sewer or stormwater. Sometimes you dig and you realize you have a water leak that hadn't surfaced to the top yet. So that's what's going on with that. Another thing is we're looking into, we'll bring it back to you, we're looking into boring underground in front of the courthouse. Eventually the plan for infrastructure is underground utilities around this area. So we've asked AT&T to put that wire under the ground, but they said sure, it takes 2 weeks to fabricate the plan. It might take a lot of money to get them to do it, so it might be cheap if we put the pipe in now ahead of this concrete pour. Stuart's working on with the guy tomorrow for a price, right? It's tomorrow he's coming, so we'll bring that back to y'all. I'm sure there's a lot of other stuff going on with parks. Abbeville Park, I think tomorrow might be the day we put the merry-go-round back in and we reopen the park. Lafitte Park, I was ready, but I guess we'll wait another 2 weeks we're gonna give us a little bit more time to do some more cleaning up. We weed-eated along the bank. I want to introduce Willie to y'all one more time. I'm blessed the Lord sent me a good man to work with me. He's not just my right hand, he's my left hand on the streets. So he had his crew in there doing the weed eating. I said, Willie, I don't want to ask your crew to do that, but it's something we probably have to do. And they went ahead and they did it, you know. Yes, the bank is not as steep as it was, but you still can't go on the edge of the water. So they took care of that. Como Park, I think we got a big tournament this weekend. We all ready for that. Paul took care of that. So Abbeville Park had some damage from the storm with a tree on the roof. We'll assess what we're going to do about that. I know there's a big plan to overhaul that park. But the merry-go-round will go back in place sometime tomorrow. I think this one Paul's got it slated to be put back in. So, any questions?
Yes, sir.
Great job, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, Parks and Recreation Coordinator.
Thank you.
All right, this past weekend, 2D Youth Baseball hosted a 12-year-old tournament. Had a total of 12 teams. Besides the weather, that was the only problem this past weekend with that tournament. Also, you have going on American Legion Baseball. They're starting up their summer season. They have 7 games scheduled for the month of June. There could be more once the tournament starts for the league tournament within their district, so we may have some added games for us then. VC Baseball has started their summer Metro Baseball program. They have a total of 9 games scheduled through the month of June, and they already played 3 games last week. Coming up for us at Como Park, we have this weekend USSSA State Tournament, approximately 25 to 30 teams. Tomorrow at midnight, the teams will be finalized, so I can give you the exact number for the weekend. June 20th through 23rd, QSA is hosting the Pony District Tournament. We'll have 6 and under, 8 and under, 10 and under, and 12 and under divisions. We should have approximately 30 teams. The district meeting is on June 10th. So once we have a finalized number, I can give you the exact teams. And then after that, we have 2D High School Baseball Showcase Tournament, 3 weekends in a row, back-to-back, starting the Thursday through the Sunday. Other than that, that's all I have for upcoming events.
Great report.
Good
Any
job.
questions?
I do, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
It's Ray Van, sorry. Are you only over Como Park?
Ma'am,
Are you only over that area?
that's where I'm specified to Como Park.
Just
Yes,
Como
ma'am.
Park, no other parks?
I'm not employed by the city.
Okay.
They are in charge of our recreational department that works at the different parks.
And Chris did the other parks before?
The whole city.
The whole city?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
All right, any other discussion? All right, Moving
Thank you,
on.
Kristen. Thank you, Byron.
Mayor's not here. Police chief.
I have nothing unless someone has a question.
Fire chief.
Wait, 1 second.
I
I think she had some notes that she wants, the mayor wanted her to read.
Yeah, the mayor just wanted me to touch on two things real fast. On June 22nd is the next community's open house meeting. There will be 2 opportunities at 2 different locations. The notes are right here, sorry. So you have 10 to 12 at AA Como. It will and then there's going to be 2 to 4 at JH Williams, and each of those will focus on all of Abbeville as a whole, but at AA Como, they're going to focus on MLK area and that cordial, and then at JH Williams event, they will focus on the Lyman Street area.
That's master plan?
That is the master plan, yes. We'll be releasing that information in the next day or so to the public for that event. And then also, the mayor is also doing, she's talked about it. There's a lot of people that want to ask her questions and have face-to-face, and it's just not always that feasible to get her on the phone. So she's doing this coffee talks with the mayor, and she'll have some guests, and she invites all the council to come too. The first one is scheduled for June 13th. Chief Hardy will be present at this one. It'll be at Southern Spread from 7 a.m. until 8:30 in the morning. And it's just no agenda on it. It's just come, and if you have concerns that you would like to talk to either one of them about, that would be the opportunity. We're also going to try to make it at these events moving forward and everything else, putting something informational out that people from the city can benefit from. And we're hoping to get the information for RAVE out, which is the alert system that the police jury picked up. I have a meeting with Mr. Homer and the crew that sets up RAVE on Thursday. We are in the system right now. We're just working out some kinks to make sure before we fully release it to the public. So that should be in place very soon, so we can start alerting people for the hurricane season or anything that happens.
All right, any other questions for, moving on. Fire chief, you got anything? All right, moving on, council members, let's start with Councilman Campbell.
Briefly, I just want to congratulate Kristen for discovering that Cypress jar, wherever you found
That
it. Pipe, and it's in 1867.
Yes, sir.
So there must be a lot of history behind it, so I'd like to work with you.
Yes, sir.
To see if any of our ancestors had anything to do with laying that pipe.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Councilwoman?
Credit to the Main Street Director and Department, all the city employees that made the Daylily Festival such a huge success. Thank you for you in the audience that I see were there. And I think it's time we recognize and support the new chamber director, Lauren Troho, who's here tonight. Lauren, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for working for the Abbeville businesses in your new role. And that's all I have.
Congratulations.
All right, and I'll have a few comments. One thing that I would state is, and it's something that I'm doing right now in Lafayette, is that we are preparing for hurricane season. I know that, and I'm speaking not only to our employees and what's going on here in the city, but we need to make sure that our residents are doing what they need to do. Listen, it's gonna be a bad year as far as storms are concerned. We're getting predictions, we're getting insight to some of these things. I'm just gonna say that please make sure you're doing what you have to do to prepare. Make sure that you have flashlights, you have whatever that you need as far as getting yourself where it needs to be. I know that Stuart and his team always make sure that we have tree trimmings, we're doing all of that stuff, but we have to. No one understood with some of this. I was here where this was the only building that was, generated, and we were running City Hall out of here as far as, and everything was down out there as far as storms are concerned. So please keep ourselves in prayers, make sure that everything goes well, but to the public, please make sure that you're doing what you have to take care of your families. And I know that we're trying to do that here as far as the city is concerned. Councilman?
I need to speak to you after the meeting, real Chris.
All right. Meeting over.
Over.